Hello there, entrepreneurs, dream makers, and small business titans. I'm Chip Schweiger, and welcome to this episode of the Entrepreneur's Accountant Podcast, where you're going to get tips and tricks that can help you level up your company to build value and create a business that can go from 7 figures to 8 and from 8 figures to 9. I'm a CPA in public practice who has worked with some of the largest companies in America, but my real passion is in helping entrepreneurs and business owners like you, because you truly are the crown jewel of our economy. And today I want to talk about the importance of integrity in growing your business. But before I move on, be sure to sign up for email updates at my website, www.schweigercpa.com, to get exclusive content and tips that allow you to grow your business while enjoying the lifestyle you're entitled to. That's www.schweigercpa.com, and that address is in the episode notes. So back to the show. So this week, let's talk about something that we really don't talk about a whole lot in business, and that's integrity and its impact on business. But first, let's set the table for a minute. So I recently joined the social media platform called Clubhouse, and you may have heard of it. It's a strictly audible social media platform, and it's actually kind of fascinating. No photos, no videos, and no music. Well, not that much music. People join different rooms and discuss whatever the topic at hand is in that particular room. And I'm new to the platform, but my interests tend to focus on business issues. And so at a recent room discussion I participated in as a co-moderator, the discussion was about integrity and its value to business. And you know, this got me thinking about you, the entrepreneur, and your life's work in creating something of real value and then putting that out here for all of our benefit. So I made the decision that that's what we're going to talk about this week, because every entrepreneur understands that there's more to their roles than having vision and a great idea that turns into an amazing product or service. There's all these intangibles to be successful. And one of them is the added responsibility of upholding business ethics to demonstrate how doing what's right creates success for a company. So think back for a minute. Business ethics and the collapse of it has really been spotlighted during the collapse of companies like Enron and WorldCom, and if you remember all of those. And while some folks may want to forget that time, I think it can teach us valuable lessons. Look, entrepreneurs can be highly skilled in their area of competence, but if this expertise isn't combined with ethical competence, that's having the integrity to do what's right, then bad situations are created where gaming the system can thrive. And here's the secret of integrity. Businesses that operate ethically are more profitable in the long run. Hear that again. Businesses that operate ethically are more profitable in the long run. But don't just take my word for it. So there's a couple researchers, Robert McMurrian and Erica Matulak, and they wrote in an article for the Journal of Business and Economics Research that a reputation for ethical business activities can be a major source of competitive advantage. What else did they say? Well, they said high standards of organizational ethics can contribute to the profitability by reducing the cost of business transactions. That sounds pretty good. By building a foundation of trust with stakeholders. That sounds even better. By contributing to an internal environment of successful teamwork, which everybody wants, and by maintaining social capital that is part of an organization's marketplace image. And when I think about that for a minute, it makes a ton of sense. So, while any one of us can cook the books for short-term gains, it eventually catches up with an organization, and the resulting penalties and fines and legal fees and negative perceptions wipe out any profits that were created. For ethical decision-making to be integrated, it must be aligned with the company's internal values and culture, and your values and culture as the founder, and then reinforced at all the levels. Most companies write a code of conduct, but I kind of wonder about this. How often is it discussed and updated? So let's talk about 5 reasons why integrity is super important for your business and why it will lead to greater profits. So first, it cements a stronger reputation that leads to more sales. So think about it. In the business world, reputation is everything. Suppliers need to trust you to pay them for the goods they deliver. Investors need to trust you to put their money to good use and deliver a profitable, sustainable business. for employees, for customers, for business partners, and for everyone else that you have contact with, trust is essential. And if you act with integrity, people will trust you, and your word will spread faster than any advertising campaign that you can come up with. Similarly, a lack of integrity will destroy your reputation. Discussions with customers should focus on facts and truth, even when they may not want to hear them. So tell them the bad news up front rather than trying to figure a way out. And customers expect the highest level of integrity from you, and nothing affirms this better than being forthright and honest about their situations and show you can make complex ethical decisions. Now, this approach builds trust with customers in my experience working with entrepreneurs, which inspires loyalty and ultimately affects profitability because loyal customers are more apt to invest in additional products or services and to refer new customers to you. So acting with integrity will allow you to reap the benefits from better relationships with the people you deal with. Second reason, employee satisfaction. So most people at your company want to do a good job, and they'll be happier working for someone with integrity than for someone who asks them to compromise their own principles. So there was some research done by a guy named David Prodis at Adelphi University, and he found that employees' perceptions of their manager's behavioral integrity were positively related to their job satisfaction, job engagement, health, and life satisfaction. And another data point, recent research by the Rutgers Institute for Ethical Leadership showed that employees are positively affected when senior executives reinforce a strong culture of business ethics. In fact, 85% of the survey respondents in that survey from companies with strong ethics programs believe that the CEOs and senior executives set the right tone for ethics and integrity. And 81% felt that the same leaders valued ethics and integrity over short-term business goals. And if you lead by example and act with integrity, that'll spread throughout the company. You know that integrity is good for employee satisfaction, but think also about your employees' performance. If you've got a culture of integrity in your company, your employees will make better decisions with long-term interests of your customers and your company in mind. They'll be able to trust each other, which will have huge benefits for collaboration and teamwork and will minimize costly disputes. So if you want happier, healthier, more engaged employees that treat your customers better and increase your sales and profits, acting with integrity is an undervalued but powerful way to achieve that. Number 3, quality. So acting with integrity often means producing the best product or service for a customer. For example, let's say that tests reveal that there's a serious weakness in your core product or service, and just when it's selling like hotcakes. You might be tempted to keep on selling it anyways, but that would mean shortchanging your customers by providing them with something inferior. Leaders with integrity explain the situation, they fix the problem, and they ship the product only when it's of acceptable quality. Yes, it may cost more money in the short term to refund money to a customer for a situation, but in general, acting with integrity is likely to lead to better quality products and services because you're acting in accordance with your values and principles. And there is a universal truth that people only do business with folks they like and trust. Now, likability can be enhanced by advertising, but trust, oh man, trust comes from how people feel you treat them and whether they can believe you. Acting ethically enhances that trust level. So number 4, long-term outlook. So there's a theme developing here, if you realize it, in which there's often a trade-off between short-term wins and long-term successes. And behaving with integrity is usually always aligned with long-term outlook. Look, whatever business you're in, you're often presented with the chance to cut corners or avoid problems by behaving dishonestly. Doing the right thing, on the other hand, can lead to more problems initially, but it usually always pays off in the end. And I've talked about a few examples of that already. Business is a long-term endeavor, and successful companies are usually those with a strong long-term outlook and focus. So acting with integrity can help you focus on getting the best results 5 years from now rather than 5 minutes from now. Do that and you'll attract new customers who will in turn spread word to like-minded people. And that's something that every entrepreneur wants. And the 5th one is clearer focus. And this is probably the most important one in my mind. So, as Sir Walter Scott, some old guy, wrote back in 1808, "Oh, what a tangled web we weave when we first practice to deceive." And look, the plain and simple fact is lying and cheating can take up a lot of energy and time. You're presented different faces to different people, and you've got to keep track of which story you've told to these people and which story you've told to that people and how to keep it all consistent. And then you've got to tell more lies and manufacture more evidence to back up your original lie, and so on and so on. Acting with integrity, on the other hand, frees up all that energy and lets you focus on what's important in building your business instead of spending time covering your tracks. So it's just the place that I think for entrepreneurs makes the most sense, that you put all of your energy and focus into getting your business up and going and profitable and the dream business that you thought about. And I've talked about this before. I know that this is a heavy topic, but I really feel like we should talk about it more in business. And I wouldn't be a very good advisor if you only focused on the numbers and the finances in our discussions, and if I ignored these things that are equally important. So that's all for this week, and I'm truly honored that you've chosen to invest your time with me. It really means a lot. If you've enjoyed today's discussion, please consider subscribing to this podcast so that you'll never miss a future episode. It's easy to do by just clicking on that subscribe button. And with that, we'll see you down the road.